You ready?
Yes.
Okay. Taken from advert.org, a website for people infected with HIV, Nick shares her story. My name is Nick and I'm 15 years old. I've lived with HIV since I was 11, and every day I wonder why the hell I had to screw up my life like that. You see, I got involved with some heavy stuff, and I started using IV drugs. Not on a regular basis, but here and there. A good friend of my family was a cop, and he knew something was up. He followed me one night to the man I got my drugs from, and they busted him and me. It was later discovered that he was infected with HIV. I got tested, and when they came back, I was crushed. I couldn't live like that. I didn't want to. So I took a knife to my wrist and tried to kill myself. My brother was the one to find me lying down on the bathroom floor. I was told later I had died. Many of you may know someone that is infected with HIV. We have all heard many stories like this one. Today I would like to inform you of the ways needle exchange programs benefit society as a whole. I'll begin by telling you the #1 advantage of these programs. Many people around the world are infected with HIV. We have all heard, Right now, about 40 million people in the world are living with HIV infection or AIDS. This estimate includes 37 million adults and 2.5 million children. In the United States alone, more than 1 million people are living with HIV. One of the most common routes of administration is through IV drug use. It is very common among drug addicts to share needles. The Needle Exchange Program offers IV drug users to bring their dirty needles in exchange for new ones. To many of you may be thinking it's like giving matches to a pyromaniac. Why would we try and encourage drug use? Although it does seem like we are encouraging, we're not. Stated by the Center for Disease Control, they write, until the flow of illegal drugs in the U.S. can be slowed or stopped, people will use them. Instead of denying that fact, the government should address how to stop some of the more serious side effects of drug use, which include the transmission of HIV, hepatitis, and other blood-borne viruses. Needle exchange programs not only stem the transmission of disease by providing addicts with otherwise difficult to obtain sterile needles, but these programs provide support and information that can lead addicts into treatment. An addict might visit a needle exchange just to get clean needles to use to inject drugs, but they might also pick up free condoms or talk to a drug counselor about treatment options. Some other benefits in needle exchange programs include HIV/AIDS education and counseling, condom distribution to prevent sexual transmission of HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases, referrals to substance abuse treatment and other medical and social services, distribution of alcohol swabs to help prevent abscesses and other bacterial infections, on-site HIV testing and counseling and crisis intervention, screening for tuberculosis, hepatitis B, and other infections, and primary medical services. Needle exchange programs can also be cost-effective. An article in the medical journal Lancet estimated that 4,400 to 10,000 HIV infections among U.S. intravenous drug users could have been avoided between 1987 and 1995 if the federal government had implemented syringe exchange nationally, saving over $500 million in healthcare costs. Action taken early in 1997 could have prevented an additional 11,000 infections by the year 2000, saving over $600 million. So many people get infected each year, costing us as taxpayers millions of dollars. Needle exchange programs would help cut costs by half and save lives. Now let me take you back to the end of this story. People don't make minor mistakes. Don't be stupid. Live life to the fullest and never give up on your dreams. I know I haven't. I wake up every morning and I tell myself that I'm going to live one more day, only to see my friends embarrass themselves again, or to walk down the hall at school screaming rock songs at the top of my lungs. I know that one day before my time I will die, but I have atoned for my sins and I plan to live a life that is as full as I can make it. Today I've informed you of the many ways needle exchange programs can benefit society as a whole. Hopefully we can all work together to prevent many more stories like this that have yet to come.
All right, Larissa, I like the story that you have at the beginning, and that when you come back to it at the end, I thought you do a pretty good job trying to reconnect and summarize at that point. The body of the speech needs to be laid out a little bit more. It sounded like you were going to be doing that, and then you kind of got caught up in some spot there where you skipped a section, or you started on something else and never came back to that preview. But we could follow most of the argument as it was being developed. Some of the data seems a little old. We're talking about estimates from 1986 to 1995. So I mean, some of that's 15 years old at this point. So I think some more contemporary information on this situation. Also, is there a shortage of needle exchange programs? Do they not exist? Are they discouraged in some way? I think you need to set up that need a little bit more. The one spot where you had developed the need was that place where you had the estimate about how many infections might have been prevented if we'd had needle exchange programs at that point. I think that part is very theoretical. Some demonstration that the needle exchange programs actually work would be helpful. If you've got examples of programs that have been done either in the U.S. or someplace else and their effectiveness, I think that would help make that argument a little bit more effective. On the delivery, you're doing way too much reading. You need to connect with the audience a lot more. That big page in front of you becomes a barrier between you and the audience. So I think your eye contact is a bit limited as well. It's a pretty good topic, but it does need to seems to me, I should say, it needs to be updated a little bit, and we need some contemporary illustrations to demonstrate its effectiveness. All right, thank you.